It's another Mouthy Motivational Monday. And this one, kind of special. Obviously, you're seeing this on Monday the 28th. I'm actually recording this a couple days prior, specifically Saturday the 26th. Reason being, I kind of got a shock this afternoon. Um, I reached my 100 subscriber goal. I know that for monetization and such, that you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. But struggling for that first 100, I think, is one of the most tiresome challenges. So that was extremely uplifting for me. So I'm extremely grateful to the people that pulled through and pulled together and subscribed to my channel and, offered some feedback on my current posted content. That was absolutely great. The other reason that it felt significant to me was that today, Saturday, obviously that I'm recording this, would have been the 94th birthday of Paul Newman. Now, people my age, well, I would say people 25 and older know Paul Newman as an actor and the founder of Newman's own food products. Um, I know Paul because he was one of the co-founders of the camp that I went to when I was a kid. And as I've said before, that camp is just everything to me. And Paul passed away in 2008. Like I said, this would have been his 94th birthday. And there are still ways that, for me in my daily life, his influence is very much present in my life. And I'm extremely grateful for that. So reaching my 100 subscriber benchmark on his birthday meant a lot. So what I decided to do is dedicate this video to him and find some quotes from him that I felt were very motivational and inspirational to me. Now, I'm going to go a little off script of what I normally do. I usually do one quote. But being Paul's birthday, being that, I reached my 100 subscriber benchmark today, I feel like I'm just going to put a little bit more of a kick in this video and do two quotes by him. Just because. The first one has to deal with his philanthropic endeavors. Obviously, the summer camps that he was in charge of founding through his Serious Fun Children's Network, those are huge philanthropic endeavors. His Newman's own food company, every bit of profit that they made went to charity. And he actually had said that if he was going to whore himself out by putting his face on the label, that obviously he's going to give all the money to charity because he felt that it was narcissistic to put his face on the product and also take money from the product. So all of his proceeds from his food items go to charity. He also has the Newman's Own Foundation. So this man just oozed philanthropy. And having had the opportunity to know him personally, there was no better influence on me, I would say. So this video goes out to him. The first quote that I'm going to focus on has to deal with his view of philanthropy. I do not think there is anything exceptional or noble in being philanthropic. It's the other attitude that confuses me. Now, I love this quote because when I started doing certain nonprofit fundraising events, it was extremely difficult to kind of round people up and get people together to help out because people were so self-absorbed that they wanted to know what was in it for them, like materialistically, monetarily, what have you. They wanted something out of it that was tangible. They didn't stop to think that helping others is the ultimate high, and connecting with your fellow human is the ultimate high. And this quote just embodies my sentiment toward them. It's hard to believe that there are people out there that are so self-absorbed that they would push their fellow neighbor aside because they weren't going to get something out of giving to their fellow man. And if you knew Paul at all, you knew that he had no desire to take from anybody that he was giving to. And he was just exceptional. And he, like I said, he was the embodiment of a philanthropist and just an all-around great human being. And I can't express enough gratitude because of the person that I've become today based on the things that I learned from him and having known him personally. And that in itself is one of the biggest thrills I will, take with me the rest of my life. So there's that one. I definitely want to know what you think of that one. I will say it again. I don't think there's anything exceptional or noble in being philanthropic. It's the other attitude that concerns me. What do you take away from that quote? Let me know. The second quote that I want to focus on is a statement that he made. It says, "A man with no enemies is a man with no character." Now, when you're young, or at least when I was young, my mom told me always, the one who dies with the most friends wins. Up until a certain point in my life, I believed that. And I was all for it. I tried to make as many friends as possible. But as you go through life, and I think I've discussed this in other videos, you are different versions of yourself. And the people that come along with you in your life through that process aren't always going to mesh with the different iterations of you. They will come, they will go. It's just, a fact of life. I don't necessarily condone intentionally making enemies, but I think it's somebody's choice that they become your enemy, because if you're being true to yourself and not intentionally hurting somebody, and they choose to, take themselves out of your life or dislike you for any reason, especially if you've not given them a reason, that's not on you. That is very much on them. So I feel like if anybody becomes your enemy, 99.9% of the time it's going to be their choice, because they just don't mesh with who you've become. That's fine, because they just haven't evolved to kind of match the character that you've become. And that's natural. It's a natural progression. It's evolution. So I don't necessarily think I have enemies. I know I have people right now in my life that have taken themselves out of my equation because we've had differences that they can't seem to get past. I don't particularly know why. And for the longest time, I dwelled on that. I sat there trying to figure out why, and I tried to bring those people back into my life. The few times that it happened where they came back into my life, they didn't stay long because there was still too much of a difference, and it was not something that they were willing to kind of meet in the middle and discuss. So I eventually just had to kind of cut the ties and let them go on and do what they needed to do, because we were no longer mutually beneficial to each other by being in one another's life. Like I said, it's evolution. It's, the way that people come and go. So this quote really kind of hit me, just because of people always saying, don't create enemies, don't, allow people to dislike you. I think in your personal life or in business especially, if you're not I don't want to say making enemies, but if you're not kind of advancing, then you're not going to get anywhere. If people aren't advancing with you, that's not on you. You can't constantly be bringing people up with you. It's just not possible, because you can't deal with people holding you back from your goals. And people that become your enemy were the people that were holding you back from your potential. Don't let people hold you back from your potential. If they become your enemy, it shows their level of maturity in dealing with a situation. That just kind of let them go. So those are the two quotes. Let me know what you think. Again, the second quote is, "A man with no enemies has no character." I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I know this video is tad bit longer than normal, but just with everything that happened in the course of this day, it was kind of necessary just to put a little bit more emphasis in this video and do a little bit something extra. So I will see you guys soon. I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I will talk to everybody soon.